Now, moving to Finland, there are changes, there are possible changes. Well, though it is not implemented, but there is news that is going to go into effect. The Finnish government wants to limit asylum, the number of refugees moving into Finland, which means that asylum seekers will not be accepted as before. They are looking to reduce the number, right? And they are equally saying that you need to get a job and you work continuously for 2 years without stepping out of Finland. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for joining today. In this video, I'm going to talk about random things that as an international student, you should put into consideration. I'm going to talk about some countries that you should consider in case you want to immigrate abroad. So this video does not have any topic, all right? Let me just say it's a study abroad guide, or how do we put it? Yes, let me indicate here that is a study abroad guide. So I just want to talk about some things, but basically before starting what I want to do, I just want to answer some questions that those of you who are asking me about visitor's visa to Canada, and you are asking about how much you need to be in your bank account. I believe so. How much you need to be in your, yeah, that should be a question. How much you need to be in your bank account. It depends on how long you want to travel to Canada, and it depends on when you would be returning back. For example, if you want to take 7 days to Canada, I would suggest that make sure you have at least 4,500 to 5,000 Canadian dollars in your bank account. The more the money, the better for you. All right, this is update number one. Number two, if you are going to be staying like maybe after 7 days or more, get at least 8,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars in your bank account. That is update number two. And equally remember that if you are moving to Canada using a visitor's visa, you may come across immigration officials at the airport, and they may ask you, this is now for Canada strictly, they may ask you some questions or a couple of questions, and you would of course reply to them. Most of these questions, sometimes when you are using a visitor's visa, make sure you have your two-way flight. Do not pay a one-way flight because it may disturb you. All right, avoid having any contact with the immigration official. If they ask you what is A, respond immediately and try to free yourself from them, because further questioning or further question and answering session may lead you into issues, especially if your visa is not a long stay visa. This is not just for those who are going to Canada, but for those who are immigrating to other countries like the United Kingdom, because nowadays you see a lot of visa rejection. Somebody's visa was rejected a few days back and the visa is a tourist visa, or let me put it, a visitor's visa, and another student's visa was cancelled in the UK. Somebody's permanent residency was cancelled again in the UK. So there are some of the changes, and sometimes the questions that you respond to them at the airport at the point of entry affects you tremendously. So you need to put this into consideration. Now, there are changes, a lot of changes on IRCC, those who want to immigrate to Canada. There are a lot of changes on the website, and you need to put this into consideration. Dates have changed, all right? Before, let me quote an example. As a Cameroonian, I was checking the dates for the visitor's visa, how long it takes for a Cameroonian to get a reply, all right, or how long does it take to process a visitor's visa if one is applying from Cameroon. I saw on the website, I think it was 200, no, not up to 200, I think it was 113 days. Then from the 16th of June, or no, from the 6th of June 2023, as I speak to you right now, the date for you to process visitor's visa in Cameroon is 334 days. That shit is close to a year, guys. So then if you check for Nigerians, you will see that it's almost 700 plus days. That is almost 2 years. Come on. Does it mean that the visitor's visa is going to come to you early, or it has to take this longer duration? If this is the case, guys, I will advise you, remember I said this video is a random video and a lot of updates I want to talk about here. If this is the case, then I will not advise anybody to apply for a visitor's visa, or before you apply for it, make sure that you verify the date, the time frame. All right, for Kenyans and Ghanaians, they have their own interval time frame that they are going to get the visitor's visa. We do not know if it's going to come early, or we do not know how long it's going to take for IRCC to reply. But however, things are getting slower now. And the other update is that the study visa, instead of maybe the longer duration, now is 6 weeks to processing. I don't know if it's the same in all other countries, but I was checking just for my home country or my birth country, and I noticed this. So if you ask me, I would say that if you have a lot of money, go in for the study permit, all right, or a study visa, because applying now for a visitor's visa, well, we do not know how long it's going to take, but there are other pathways, all right? And remember, you cannot put 2 applications on IRCC. You cannot put 2 applications into the portal. That is to say, you cannot apply for a visitor's visa while waiting for results. You apply for a student permit or a student visa. No, it doesn't work that way. But I think if you have an application like a visitor's visa application, then you can go in for maybe the express entry, because this one is just basically you are waiting for invitation to apply for the permanent residency. I think something like this one can work, as I know. Do more research again, guys. Remember, all these things are just based on my own research capabilities and everything that I can do. Now let's proceed further. Those who are applying for visas to Lithuania, you cannot apply for a visa to Lithuania again, but rather you can apply for a temporary residence permit, all right? And you are not going to be applying for the temporary residence permit where you were supposed to apply for the visa at the Egypt embassy or the embassy in Egypt. Now you are going to be applying for a temporary residence permit, and this time you are going to go to Lebanon or Jordan. But first, you need to verify. Make sure you send an email to the embassy or VFS Global in Lebanon or wheresoever, because a lot of international students are now looking for this direction. You need to go apply, but for a temporary residence permit, all right? Now you are going to get a card, something like a card, not a sticker in your passport. I hope you understand the differences. We hope this is the process, and we hope that is going to pull through good. And again, another update is for those moving to Latvia. You have to apply from Egypt if you are a Cameroonian. Check the procedures, and remember, if you are moving to Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, all right, and some other countries in the Schengen zone, you may be asked to pay a tuition deposit, because most of the time before you apply for the visa, you need to show proof that you have paid your tuition deposit. And most often, these countries within the Baltic, they will always ask you to do this. And remember, sometimes applying to schools in Latvia and Lithuania, you may not need the English proficiency, but if you are looking at Estonia, you may need the English proficiency. So these are some of the things that you need to know. And again, the proof of funds for Belgium has changed. Now for Belgium, you need your guarantor to be able to prove that he earns at least 2,000 euros per month. And if your guarantor has a family, he equally needs to show more money for the family members, all right? A guarantor here is someone who is standing that they are going to sponsor you to Belgium, all right? Then they are going to give you the documents. I hope you need to verify all of these things, or you go for the blocked account option, which is another option that you can consider, but it's going to be very expensive. Though they are saying that the blocked account money should be at least 9,000 and above, but I'm not very sure. Make sure you ask your university how much it is. Remember, most schools in Belgium, not most, some schools in Belgium, let me put it this way, will ask you to do a blocked account and blocked your money inside your tuition fee and your living cost money for 1 year, while others will tell you to pay that you do not need the blocked account, because not all the schools, there are some schools in the French speaking section of Belgium, while others are located in the English speaking section of Belgium. So you need to put this into consideration. Now moving to Finland, there are changes, there are possible changes. Well, though it is not implemented, but there is news that is going to go into effect. The Finnish government wants to limit asylum, the number of refugees moving into Finland, which means that asylum seekers will not be accepted as before. They are looking to reduce the number, and the Finnish government is trying to bring in some tough times. In case they implement this, this is what you should know. They are looking at bringing in some other conditions for you to become a permanent resident in Finland, and of course citizenship. For you to become a permanent resident in Finland, there are certain things you must meet. You must write the Finnish exam, all right? And they are equally saying that you need to get a job and you work continuously for 2 years without stepping out of Finland. And of course, earn at least 40,000 euros for the 2 years. Well, we do not know if this is going to be implemented, but this is something that is already in the pipeline, all right? In case they decide to implement it, well, you should be ready for it. Remember, Norway equally said they are not going to be taking students again from international students again for free. So now you have to pay a tuition in Norway. And of course, when you get an admissions offer, you have to pay a tuition deposit. Then you block the balance of your money in your blocked account. Then you equally have money for your living costs blocked account. So in essence, when you get admissions, the university is going to give you the account details to put this money in, and of course show them the proof. We hope that in future they are going to reduce the tuition fee. And when you check the tuition fee, it is not going to be easy in Norway. I'm explaining this because Finland is equally saying that they will have to increase tuition fee to now 8,000 euros for the minimum, which means that schools like Norway University of Applied Sciences and Savonia University of Applied Sciences, which were like 6,000, 4,000, 6,500, will now move up to 8,000. That's the minimum tuition fee in Finland, has to be 8,000 euros a year. And again, you remember that Finland is not an easy thing. You have to go through, apply for the schools, then go through entrance exam, the first phase, the second stage, before getting an invitation. And when invited to apply for a visa, or when given the final acceptance offer, you need to confirm your position by paying the first year tuition fee, all right, or the amount given to you by the school. Then when you pay that, before now you can apply for the visa. These are some of the things that you need to put into consideration. And of course, Germany is still free, so if you do not have money, you can be looking at Germany, all right. And again, remember, for Norway, before you even apply for a school to study, sorry, Canada, not Norway, for you to apply, before you even apply for a school to study in Canada, you must have 10,000 Canadian dollars kept aside, because that is money for living costs. Then when you get admissions to apply for visa, some schools will charge you a particular proportion of their fees, maybe $500, 700, 2,000, 2,500. Maybe some will even charge you the entire tuition fee to pay before you apply for visa. And now when you're applying for visa, the entire tuition fee plus money for living costs plus miscellaneous, small monies, you understand, has to be in the bank account you are using. And I have a lot of videos on this YouTube channel talking about who can sponsor you, how you can document your proof of funds and everything. I hope that is going to reach you. Now, for those who are asking me if United States and Canada, where are scholarships mostly found? Well, if you ask me, all of them, they have scholarships. There is a video I dropped already on the channel. All right, all of them, Canada and USA, they will offer you scholarship, but which one offers more funding opportunities, more scholarships, more grants, more assistantship opportunities, and more fully funded opportunities? It is the United States, because most of the time the government funds most of the state universities, and they do not depend on so before they even start the application season, there is always budget set aside for them. And most of the time, most lecturers or researchers or maybe advisors or supervisors will equally have money given to them by some organizations to conduct research. So they will now give you the money, like in form of grants and assistantship, for you to study in the US. So if you are target the two, but pay more attention to the United States than Canada. And again, remember there are requirements. GRE, some schools have waived it, some will not waive it. You have to check the school website very well in order to know what you are doing. I hope this video is going to help you. I'll be bringing more updates in the days ahead. And I want to say that pay attention if you want to immigrate to Canada using the express entry. Pay attention to your scores for the IELTS. All right, it is very important, and try to enroll, or let's say go into the PNP, that's the provincial nomination program, so you can get more points and add it to your scores to increase your scores to get a chance to be selected. I hope this video helps you. Till we meet again in another one.